Hi, my name is Nigel Bailey and welcome to this, my first video blog on my new channel. And so I thought I would set up a new channel on YouTube, and it's called DSLR Life. And I wanted to do this because the blog that I have at the moment, it covers a whole number of different kind of interests that I have, and I really needed something that was just dedicated to the photographic side of things that I do. Which increasingly also includes videography these days. And it seemed right to me that I'd start this particular blog with just a little bit about how I have set things up. So this is my studio, or study. Studio is probably a bit of a grand name for it. But I thought it might just be worth explaining how I've done that. So firstly, I'm recording the video on a Nikon, I suppose, consumer level camera. This is the Nikon D5500, and obviously audio not being entirely what it might be on DSLRs. I also have an external mic, and that's the Rode Video Mic Pro. So that just gives us a much better quality of audio than we would otherwise get. Lighting is an important thing too, and so I have invested a little bit in some lighting, some relatively cheap video lights that I got on Amazon UK, and those are Aputure lights. That's Aputure, and it's the 198Cs. So these give us a constant variable level of output, and they're also variable in terms of the color temperature that they can do. And at the moment I've got them set to daylight mode, and so they're all on 5500 Kelvin level. I'm also using a couple of other cameras to help record this, just so I can change some angles, and in a future episode I will tell you a little bit about how to go about doing that, how we can take views from multiple angles and merge them together, use them together nice and simply within a piece of software like Film Cut Pro, and how we can relatively easily cut and splice different bits from different cameras, sync up the audio across those different devices as well. So the other cameras that I've got going, I've got up on to my right here, I've got an iPhone 6 Plus. Got great video from that. It's not the 4K version, that would be on the 6S Plus, but this has got good 1080p resolution and good image stabilization as well. Don't need that in this particular situation, mind. And then on my left and slightly behind me, I've also got a Nikon D800 with a fixed focal length lens on it, 110mm Sigma lens. The lens that I've got right in front of me that I'm looking at right now, it's another Nikon lens, and this is a wide angle lens, an f2.8, but I'm presently got it on a f4.0. I've got a shutter speed of 1/50th of a second, and the ISO level is at ISO 400, and I'm using the same settings on the D800 just for consistency. So that's how I've got things set up. I've got 3-point lighting system. I've got my main key light, which is just to my left over here, at an angle of about 45 degrees or so. I then have a fill light, again at an angle roughly 45 degrees. It's just to my right over here, obviously dimmer than the main key light. And then behind me, just to help pick me out from the background, I've got a rim light, and I've just got them balanced so that we can get a nice bit of just fill in those really dark spaces and get just about the right amount of contrast. So that's the basic setup, and what I'll do in future episodes, I'll take a look around some of the equipment that I have, and help explain some of that to you, give you an idea of the sort of things that I use, the sort of jobs that I enjoy doing, particularly landscape photography and some astrophotography. We'll look at how some of the post-processing is done as well, both for stills and for videography work. But if you've made it this far, thanks very much for listening, and I'll see you again in the next episode. Bye.